Hey guys, what's up? This is Gary from Killer Off-Road Hobbies here with a review of the Traxxas 1/10 scale four-wheel drive monster truck called the E-Revo, or technically Truckee. Wing. Now I know this thing doesn't look stock, but it pretty much is. It's the brushless version, so it's got the Mamba Monster combo in it. The upgrades I did, it's got the long arm rocker set. I did a custom set of push rods because I kept breaking the push rods that were stock. And it's got HR steel drive shafts in the rear and an HR spool in the rear. Now, what I want to talk about on this truck right here is value for your dollar. But we will get right back to this. Okay. So the transmitter, the TQI system from Traxxas, I actually really like these transmitters. I like how they're set up, simple, everything, and you do have, you can adjust your endpoints and everything with these buttons, but you have to have a cheat sheet. It's not that big of a deal. It has traction control, it has steering trim, it's got a 50-50 or a 70-50 setting for the trigger, foam on the wheel, 4 AA's, 2.4 gigahertz. I mean, as far as ready to run transmitters go, this one's a really good one. I actually really like this. Now, you might notice that it's got a different set of tires on it. I put the stock tires from the Creighton on it because I'm gonna get into that later, but I put the stock tires from the Creighton on it, but I think these are better. They're slightly smaller than the trenchers I had on here, and I think it looks a little better with the smaller tires. Of course, the body shell is aftermarket, it's all custom painted, whatever. But let's talk about the truck. Now, I do have pros and cons about this truck, and like I said, I want to get into value for your dollar. Basically, with the long arm rocker set on this and just the stock suspension, the suspension on this thing is one of my favorite suspensions I've ever had on an RC. I absolutely love the cantilever suspension set up on this thing. I mean, it's got a ton of flex, it's got a ton of movement. It's really smooth. It goes over bumps really nicely. I mean, the way I have it set up, it is really, really soft, for the huge jumps I go off of. But also, when you're going crazy through like a really bumpy area, this thing just soaks it up. Just, no big deal. And I have to give kudos for the suspension. The suspension is awesome. I really like it. Another thing I really like, let's take the shell off. Another thing I really like is the power system it comes with. A Mamba Monster combo, you can't go wrong with that. 6S capable, more power than you'll ever need with this truck, especially for me since I don't do speed runs and whatnot. The dual servo setup, waterproof. I mean, the waterproof isn't really that big of a deal because the ESC is not waterproof, but the dual servo setup I really do like too because it's got more than enough torque to turn the bigger tires. So, these are all positives about this thing. I mean, the servo, the power system, the suspension, I really like. Now, let's get into the negatives on this truck. Negatives is I cannot believe it comes with such crappy drive shafts. Like, the center drive shafts are okay. I mean, those things are fine. They are plastic, but they hold up. Now, the drive shafts for the axles, the axle drive shafts are just horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. You can't keep them in here. Another thing I don't like about this thing is the price. I mean, this is a really old truck, old technology, all plastic, and it's a huge purchase. If you get the brushless setup like this, you're talking close to $800, and that's just insane. Especially for how old tech this is. I mean, yeah, it was top of the line like, a decade ago, but now there's way better stuff out there for less money. Granted, it has the Mambo Monster combo, that's cool. It's got some real nice suspension. But, I mean, value, $760, brand new, that's just crazy to me. It's just crazy to get this plastic chassis, with absolute garbage for drive shafts. The push rods are horrible too. I forgot to mention that when I was going over the cons, but yeah, the push rods, I had to custom make my own because, every time I took it out, I was popping a push rod, and, then I fixed the push rod issue, and now I'm breaking drive shafts every time I take it out. So, the value for me just isn't here. I cannot like tell somebody this thing is worth going out and spending the money you're going to spend on this thing. It's not. I don't believe this truck is worth anywhere near $700. Like, maybe back in the day when it innovated like the truggy scene and all that, but in today's standards, like, I have to go back to the Creighton. Like, the Creighton's $500, 10 times more durable. It comes with a slightly less powerful, electronic system in it. Buggy layout, aluminum chassis. So it's just like, you can get a Creighton for $500, or you can go spend almost $800 on this. And is this worth $250 more than the Creighton? Absolutely not. Another thing, is this thing even equivalent to the Creighton? In my eyes, no, not even close. Not even close. It might beat it in a race on the street, but if you take this out and you take a Creighton out and you go off the same jumps and everything, this thing is going to break long before the Creighton ever has any issues. So I'm a basher. I look at it from a basher's point of view, and from a basher's point of view, I cannot recommend this truck. Now, I did want to compare this thing to a truck that I have that is very similar to the setup of this, and just kind of bring it up and just kind of compare notes. I haven't driven the other truck quite as much, but I think it's a very close, very close match. So I present to you the Red Cat MT80. Okay, so if this thing had the stock body on it, they are very similar. This thing comes with bigger tires, yes. The stock tires that the E-Revo comes with, I think, are even smaller than these. But, okay, so pros about this, the power system. This thing comes Mambo Monster combo, 6S capable. This thing comes with a 2500 kV motor, but it's only 4S capable. Alright, this thing's got a really nice cantilever suspension. This thing, although the suspension is really nice, it's not, I can't give it any, knocks for the way the suspension is set up on this. The E-Revo definitely has a little bit better suspension. But like I said, the suspension on this isn't bad at all. It's just, in my point of view, the E-Revo has one of the best suspensions that I've ever personally experienced in the RC world, aside from the problems with the push rods. But once you fix the push rods, you're pretty much good to go. Now, this thing comes stock brushless for, like I said, I think it's like $760 or $780. Now this thing comes stock ready to run with 2 LiPo batteries and 2.4 gigahertz system and everything. This thing comes for less than $500. I think it's like $460. This thing comes stock with a wheelie bar, adjustable wheelie bar. You know, they're both plastic chassis, and I mean, they're really similar. Another positive about this over the E-Revo is it comes with steel drive shafts, you know, and they're CVDs in all 4 corners, and you're getting that for less than $500. Another positive about this, even though if you like the look of the body or don't like the look of the body is definitely more durable than the stock body on the E-Revo. Now, to compare notes, they both have plastic chassis. The E-Revo comes with a better system in it, the Mamba Monster Combo, in opposed to this 4S capable with a 2500 kV motor. But comparatively wise, with factoring in the price, I would take the MT80 from Red Cat any day of the week. I've driven both of them. I have more time with the E-Revo, of course, but I have driven both of them, and it would be worth it to me to do exactly what I did. To buy this thing brand new and just go buy a 6S capable ESC. Like, even if you go and buy a Mamba Monster 2 ESC, because the motor in this thing is definitely capable. Mamba Monster 2 ESC, like a $200, $225 ESC, you're still less. Sorry about that. But you're still less. You're still under the price tag of this. I mean, substantially under it. And what I did was I bought a $75 Ace 150 amp, Ace RC 150 amp ESC out of an MT4G3 for $75. And that's in here. So this thing is 6S capable. The battery trays are comparable. The chassis are relatively like similar. You know, it's basically, you know, they're basically almost the same platform. And any day of the week, I would take the MT80 over the E-Revo. Like I said, it's got some pros, but it's way got more cons. And the worst part about this thing is the price. It's ridiculous how much they charge for these things, especially how old they are. So we're gonna get rid of this guy again. Now, you know, like I said, this is my channel, and I do these reviews from my point of view as a basher, having bashed this and bashed the MT80, and you know, it's just every time I've taken this out, except for the first time I took it out, I think, I've literally had to fix something on it. And I have fixed it several times in one day and continued bashing and continued to keep breaking things. So as far as my stance on the E-Revo, I cannot recommend this truck at all for anybody. Like, I don't do speed runs, so it might be amazingly awesome, head over heels, cool for speed runs, but I'm a basher, and from a basher's point of view, the Traxxas E-Revo is not worth the money. It's not worth your time. There is much better bashers out there, a lot better technologies now than this dinosaur, because that's what it is. They don't change anything on this. They just keep selling it for tons of money and tons of money because people keep buying it. That's my thoughts on the Traxxas E-Revo. Like, subscribe, thumbs up if you like this video, thumbs down if you didn't. Stay tuned, leave some comments, and Killer Off-Road Hobbies, I'll have more coming at you. Peace out, guys.